The women came out all the cities of Israel, singing and dancing, to meet King Saul with tambourines, with songs of joy, and with musical instruments. And the women sang to one another as they celebrated, Saul has struck down his thousands, and David his 10,000s. And Saul was very angry, and this saying displeased him. He said, they have ascribed to David 10,000s, and to me they have ascribed thousands. And what more can he have but the kingdom? And Saul eyed David from that day on. So the scene shifts from this wonderful covenant friendship to this kind of corrosive envy. Saul, who was rejoicing in David's victory, he's now kind of recoiling. And the reason, because of the simple song sung by the woman in Israel that you read in verse 7. Saul has struck down his thousands, and David his 10,000s. Now, to our ears, that might sound like a provocative jab, but in Hebrew poetry, it was likely intended as a celebration of both. In Hebrew poetry, this would not have been a subtle political jab. It was parallelism that was typical of ancient Semitic songs. But Saul hears it differently. The praise that should have reminded him of God's deliverance instead becomes an insult to him. In fact, it becomes a threat. And then we see this key line, and Saul eyed David from that day on. It's a phrase that suggests suspicion and surveillance and heart-sick comparison. Saul is not going to rejoice in the favor of another, and the reason for that is because Saul no longer rejoices in God's favor on him. He doesn't know God's favor on him anymore. It's a tragic descent. The king of Israel, once anointed by God, he's now obsessed with clinging to this throne that he can't secure.